Welcome to the Music Journal Podcast, where we talk about the hottest things happening in music right now, and also how you can apply it if you're an aspiring producer or musician yourself. I'm your host, Wes Yee. I'm a producer, artist, and educator, and I'm stoked to be chatting with you. Let's make history. All right, welcome to another episode of the Music Journal Podcast. Today, I've got Joseph Lane on the show. You may not know his name, but if you've ever been on the internet, you've definitely seen his video that blew up. It's called Homeless Man Raps on the Subway, and in the video, he's rapping to an old Eminem beat about some real shit that he's been through, like the mother of his kid leaving him and being broke and in prison and everything, all the way to the current state of hip-hop today. So it's super deep, and this dude has a really amazing way of connecting with people and his audience through his lyricism and his rhyme scheme. He goes by Solow Redline, and I'm super stoked that he's here with me today. Bro, welcome to the show.
What's up, bro? What's up?
Yo, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm, making this music, loving it.
100%. That's what's up. I think the first question everybody wants to know, man, is A, are you still in Chicago? And B, are you still homeless?
As far as the first question, am I still in Chicago? Yes. As of right now, I'm actually I'm stationed in Chicago until I finish the case with my children. I actually won custody of my children. So they're actually with me now, you know what I mean, as far as living. And as far as B, no, I'm not homeless anymore. A lot of that changed once that video went viral.
Yeah, I believe it, man. We were talking a little bit offline. It seems like it. You said you've done over 100 interviews, and this is probably 101 or even more than that. But dude, congrats on your kids, man. That's huge.
Thank you.
How many do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I only got two.
Okay.
10 and 11.
Oh, wow. Oh, no way. Wait, so when did that video go viral? How long ago was that? Because I saw it a while ago, I feel like. But it's just kind of resurfacing now.
The initial video went viral in October of 2014. So like the one that's circulating now, someone put it up, that particular site put it up like 2 months ago, and it went viral again. So
wow, no way.
The video has actually gone viral at least 10 times. The legend Rakim himself shared it when it first went viral, and it got like 2 million views on his page. And the original video has like 9 million. Another guy named Black Prez, he shared the video, and the video got 8 million on his. And it's like, I say about 60, 70 million worldwide. It just keeps going viral.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. Most people try to get even just one viral video, and you had the same video blow up like 10 different times. So that's fucking crazy. I think everybody also wants to know the story behind the video, man. Like, what got you to start performing in the subways, and did you know that it was going to blow up like that? Like, did you know the person filming, or was it just complete luck?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, like, actually it's crazy that the person who influenced me to go in the subway, he's going through a lot right now, which is R. Kelly. He was discovered in the same subway I was discovered in.
No way.
Yeah, same exact subway. And at the time he had a good reputation, so I went in his footsteps, to go down in the subway and perform. And I figured, maybe one day somebody will see me and I'll be out of the subway. And it lasted a little longer than I wanted it to, because I went in the subway in like 2000 and didn't get noticed till 2014. But it was a lot of, I say a lot of positive things happened while I was in the subway, besides going viral. So, it went good. That particular day, though, when I went viral, I was just out there trying to get my kids some uniform, school. And this guy named Cole Steele, a local Chicago artist, he walked up to me and he started talking to me, and I knew of his music, and he was like, "Yo, can I record you?" I was like, "I don't care. Everybody else do, so it doesn't matter, because a lot of people had already recorded me before then."
Right.
just so happened I went home that night and he put the video up at around 12 o'clock midnight. And my little sister, she said, bro, come here, look. This dude put a video of you rapping up and he called you homeless. And I said, what? So I go look at the video and it said homeless guy rapping. Now I had gave him my name and told him that I, do music all everywhere, and he still decided to say that I was homeless, even though at the time I have been homeless. But at that time when he recorded me, I was not homeless.
Wow. No way. I don't think anybody else really knew that either. That's crazy.
Yeah, he decided to call me homeless, I guess thinking that it would help him get views, which it did, because the next morning when we woke up, remember I told you the video went up at 12 midnight.
Right.
I woke up at about 9 o'clock in the morning. The video had like 750,000 views.
Damn, that's crazy.
And by noon that day, it was over 1 million.
Wow.
So
no shit.
I started getting all the phone calls from the TV stations and the different news outlets. Even Good Morning America aired it.
Dude, that's like 100,000 views an hour if you're sleeping for like 7 hours, and then 700,000 views, and then by noon from whatever time it was, that's another 3 hours. That's 300,000 more views. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. The crazy part, it started going faster than that. After that noon, it started going extra fast. It shot up to 1 million within like the next hour or so. To another
wow,
million.
No way. That's amazing, dude.
Really
it sounds like it was really just like a perfect storm, you know what I mean? Because you were in the subway doing your thing for a little bit and other people had been recording you. And I'm guessing that you do other songs too, so maybe they were recording other songs, but it was that particular song and that particular guy who was recording you, and then he put up that particular title, which wasn't totally true, but it had been true in the past. So I guess it wasn't like totally false, you know what I mean? Like not false information. But how do you feel about the fact that he wrote that you were homeless when you weren't actually homeless at the time? Was it one of those things where you were kind of like, why did he do that if he knew my situation? Or were you kind of happy that he did it because it ultimately ended up with you getting more views? And it's not like it was a fake experience either, because you actually lived that reality of being homeless at a time.
I mean, in the long run, I was grateful. I ended up being grateful for it, but in the beginning, I was really upset because in Chicago, I've earned like I earned a pretty good reputation as being known as a freestyler and winning a lot of competitions. So a lot of people in Chicago already knew me, and they were upset. You had people all through the city that were all on the first viral video leaving comments saying, yo, he's not homeless. Yo, whoever put this up, you bogus for calling him homeless just because he was rapping in the subway. And people were really upset about that. It wasn't just me. It was other people that knew of me that were upset. Because
it's a crazy world, man, because if they had done that video even just like X number of years or months ago when you actually were homeless, nobody would be saying that. You know what I mean? It would be all love. Everybody would be stoked because at that time you actually were homeless. So I don't think there's any problem per se with him writing that to get attention, because you know how it is. It's tough to get
with it. I think the only problem that people had was the fact that when the video went up, the original viral video, if you look at it, it has his name all over the video. It doesn't.
Oh, wow.
It says his name, recorded by him, and it says homeless person, but he knew my real name. So initially, I didn't get the publicity off of it because nobody knew who I was.
That is fucked up.
Homeless guy rap.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah, he kind of just used you for the attention, huh?
Yeah.
Are you guys cool now? Like, do you guys talk at all? And does he help you get exposure off of everything?
I don't really talk to him. I don't have any problem with him or anything. I think our issue came from the fact that he wanted me to portray a homeless person so he could get money from like World Star and other outlets that was offering money for the video. Wow. For more videos of me rapping as a homeless person, and I wouldn't do it because I couldn't capitalize off of it. It was more like him capitalizing, and he would cut me in, and
Right, right.
I wasn't gonna, I wouldn't do it. So he got upset with me.
Well, I give you props for staying authentic and keeping your true self and your true form. You know what I mean? Does it kind of remind you of, I guess, like the label mentality? Kind of these days, how labels kind of capitalize off of these artists, and the artists don't really necessarily get to put their authentic self out there. It's really just for some higher up to cash a bigger check off of these people that they're essentially just kind of using and then toss to the side as soon as they're not hot anymore. Do you kind of feel that way about this guy?
Yeah, it was that, and then it was the fact that I felt like I could have been in a better position right now if my name was on it. If it was like where labels could contact me and stuff like that, and it was like everything was all going toward him. So
Yeah, that's fucked up.
it was like he got more industry publicity for recording me than I got for actually doing it.
Wow, no way, dude. That's crazy. But I mean, you're doing all the right things right now, right? Like you're jumping on this podcast. I see you have a lot of followers on Facebook and everything. So people have ways of stalking people on the internet and finding them if they really want to. You know what I mean? It does suck though that you didn't get all of the attention that you could have gotten in the beginning.
I could tell you something, bro. Honestly, the people that follow me now and the way things are now it's really because of I learned a lot from that video. When the video got put up and me not having my name on it and not being promoted, I had to learn how to promote myself. So what I did was I started going back to the viral video because it had thousands of comments. So I would go to the viral video and like go to each comment and say, "Yo, that's me in the video."
Smart.
I would put up like links to my music and different things, and got people following me.
That's the hustle, man. That's what you got to do. And it's cool that you learned to do that too, because I feel like I've definitely seen viral videos of really talented people being posted by these pages that have viral followings, but they don't necessarily give credit all the time. And those people don't have necessarily the work ethic to go into every single comment and kind of showcase themselves and let the fans know that they're there and available to follow on the internet, and they have more music that they can listen to. So definitely a lot of props for that, bro. When and how did you start rapping?
I started rapping honestly when I was like about 6 years old. I was listening to I used to listen to a lot of LL Cool J, a lot of Def Jam artists. I really grew up on like that was my thing in the beginning. It was Def Jam artists that really like influenced me. They influenced me a lot. As I got older, I listened to EPMD and Ultramagnetics, and I listened to a lot of pretty much a well balanced of hip hop. It was a lot of gangster and a lot of hip hop. So I had a mixture of everything. You know what I mean? So like I just love hip hop.
Were you an Immortal Technique fan?
Yeah.
I feel like there was like a whole generation of people who are just the biggest Immortal Technique fans, and a lot of them kind of rap like you do. Like it's very, very real shit. That's the only reason why I asked. How do you feel about the current state of hip hop and where things are going right now? Are you a fan or?
I don't want to sound old, but I'm not a big fan of the lack of content. I'm not a big fan of the endorsement of drugs and basically killing yourself. I'm not a big fan of that because we already have enough, negativity pushing us already. We don't really need the music to be telling our kids to do drugs constantly.
For real.
That's like the main thing in all hip hop music now is to do drugs.
It's crazy, man. It's literally toxic to the youth. Like these kids listen to the music and what they hear is what they think is going to be cool. So if all of these people that they look up to and aspire to be are talking about popping Xans and shit, then it's ultimately going to be what they want to do. I agree with you there, man. You know Joyner Lucas at all?
Of course, one of my favorite rappers,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Oh,
Like
dope.
he's one of the only rappers that can really keep up with Eminem.
Oh, you got to be an M fan, dude. What was the beat that you were rapping on uh in that viral video? I forget the name of that
Mockingbird.
song. Mockingbird. That's right, dude. That was a crazy classic, dude. That must have come out when I was in middle school, I want to say. I must have been like 12 or 13 when that record dropped.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably one of the biggest Eminem, well, the biggest black Eminem fans probably ever from the beginning all the way till now. You know, it was some albums that I didn't like, but for the most part, I feel like, you know, a lot of black artists tend to say things like he got a lot of his notoriety because of the fact that he was white. But I don't see that because lyrically, when I hear a person rap, I'm not looking at the color. I'm listening to lyrics, and Eminem was unbelievable from the beginning. Like things that I couldn't imagine somebody, you know, putting a wordplay together like he did. It was unbelievable, man.
Hey, that's the
You know,
goat, man. I'm also a big fan of. I was telling somebody this last night, but I try to separate the art from the artist, if that makes sense. So, hey, we'll be back in the episode in just 2 seconds, but before that, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. So, for all you aspiring producers and artists out there, I can't even begin to tell you how important having a mentor was to me. I would literally not be where I am today if it wasn't for people like Mike Moss, who is a 3-time Grammy Award nominee. He got me my first credit. And Prince Charles Alexander, who's recorded Biggie and Alicia Keys. I wouldn't have been able to continue to grow and progress in my craft if it wasn't for them. So if you've been listening to the show and you heard episode 19 with Kato on the track, you know he's produced for B.O.B., Joyner Lucas, Hobson. He got token viral with his contest before anybody even knew who he was, and he totally blew up. The reason I'm telling you this is because he just opened up a mentorship program that will transition your music from being a side hustle to a career. If you want to learn the secrets from people at the top of the industry, go to bit.ly/TMJ mentor and you can try it for free. That's bit.ly/TMJ mentor. As opposed to, I try to keep them as like two separate entities. So I guess to go back to the whole like R. Kelly thing we're talking about, you know, there's controversy around that topic right now, but I don't associate the person R. Kelly with the music per se, because I still love the records, you know what I mean? And I guess kind of on that topic too, to be totally honest, man, I was watching. It's funny that you mentioned R. Kelly today, because literally before we just jumped on this show, I was watching this Dave Chappelle skit, and he's talking about like this 15-year-old girl. He's like, "How old is 15 really?" And there's no way I'll tell it as funny as him, but he's talking about how like there's this 7-year-old girl who got kidnapped and like chewed through the ropes or whatever and escaped, and another 15-year-old kid like accidentally like killed some other kid, his friend or whatever, and then got life in prison. And he's saying like, if a 15-year-old kid can escape imprisonment or like go to jail for life, then they're probably old enough to get peed on. It's basically the punchline of that joke. So I don't know, what's your take on separating like the art from the artist? Like, people will often discredit an artist because of things that maybe the media is trying to portray them as, or things that the media is trying to say that they did, but those same people still loved the music before they found out about those things, right?
my personal opinion that is, it depends on how you feel about not you personally, but the people. It all depends on how the people feel about the artist. Because when you think about, okay, R. Kelly, right? After we found out what he did with Aaliyah and with the underage girl in the video, after we found out about that, he was still able to be a superstar. He was still able to come out with big hits and do big things until everybody just got tired of it. Which leads me to how people are so funny acting, because Michael Jackson been accused of messing with little boys since back in the 80s. And he paid off a lot of families to be quiet. He paid off a lot of people. And it's all it's all national news. Like everybody knows that
Right.
Michael Jackson paid a lot of people off to leave it alone. So, which pretty much says he's guilty.
Yeah.
But since he's Michael Jackson, we'll let that slide. But now Kelly, we gotta kill him. We gotta hang him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear
I
you.
don't I don't think that's right. I think if you're gonna look at one, look at all of them. Look at you gotta look at Michael Jackson. You gotta look at the Catholic priest. You gotta look at Woody Allen. You gotta look at what I mean. You gotta look at all of these Harvey Weinstein. You gotta look at
Yeah.
all of these. You can't just pick him because now everybody's tired of him.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you get them all. If you're gonna hang one, hang them all. Don't be funny acting and pick and choose who you gonna mess with. That's not right.
I agree 100%. I think it needs to be equal treatment, and if that means equal consequence for everybody, then 100%, man. If you're gonna try one person for one thing, then another person needs to be tried for the exact same crime. I was talking to this guy Prince Charles Alexander. He's a mentor of mine, but he worked with like Diddy and shit back in the day. Like he recorded Biggie and Alicia Keys, and we were talking about I guess just like the state of America right now and like the racial tensions and everything. And I'm an Asian person, so the story that I said, or one of the stories that I said, is there was an Asian cop who accidentally murdered someone. It was like he shot somebody by accident, thinking it was someone else, but he ended up going to jail for it. And then you have all these other cops who are killing black people and Eric Gardner and killing all these other people and just getting away with it. So it's not that I don't think that the Asian guy shouldn't have gone to jail, but I think all those other cops who got off should have also gone to jail. So you have to treat everybody the same, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just as real as it gets. I mean, you can't be you can't be impartial to a person just because you like their music or just because you feel like, oh, he's a real legend. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's unbelievable, man. Like when I watched some of the surviving R. Kelly, and I heard a lot of artists speak on why they wouldn't get into the documentary, and then I seen Questlove, which is one of my favorite rappers.
Mm.
He kind of disappointed me because he said that the reason why he wouldn't get in the documentary wasn't because he didn't want to say anything bad about R. Kelly, but it was because he didn't want to say anything good. He said he never felt like R. Kelly was legendary, or he never felt like he was a musical genius, and I feel like that's hatred.
Huh.
You can't you can't say that that man is not legendary. You can't say that he's not a musical genius when he made music for over 20 something years that was all platinum, all at the top of the chart. Everybody loved, everybody danced to, had sex to, went to the club to. I mean, it doesn't make sense to say, oh, that's not a lyrical genius. I mean, that's not a musical genius, because it is.
Dude, he capitalized on every single fan base. Like, even my dad, this old Asian man, likes R. Kelly. You know what I mean? Like, everybody liked R. Kelly, and it's unfortunate that, I mean, not to say that what R. Kelly did was cool at all, but it's unfortunate that someone like Quest, who has a platform and an influence, wouldn't even show up to be part of the conversation.
Elvis Presley married an underage woman, and he's still considered the king of rock and roll.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
What's the other guy? Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin.
Oh, yeah,
and,
that's
and
fucking
he
weird,
still
dude.
play Great Balls of Fire right now.
That's
You
fucking
know,
gross, dude.
that's fucking gross. That's crazy. But these people are still considered legends.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty backwards. We got a little bit off topic too, and I'm totally down with it. But just to
Yep.
kind of pull it back, bro, what's the next move for you musically?
Right now it's like I want to be like, really known. You know what I'm saying? Because what I do is I've realized that not too many other people can do, because it's like recently I got into an event here in Chicago. It was an A&R's event where like a lot of big people came and they saw people perform, and I just, everybody everybody rehearsed, and they had their songs ready and stuff like that. And all I did was I just cut on the beat and got on stage and freestyle, and I won.
Wow, no way. Did you
And the people were so pleased.
Did you
They were
freestyle
so
for real, like
amazed.
off the top, or did you do the whole like
That's what I
pre-written freestyle thing?
No, it's always freestyle. It's always straight off the top. Even the viral video that you saw was straight off the top.
No way, dude. That was off the
Yeah,
top?
I was talking about what was going on right then and there. I wasn't I didn't script it or nothing. That was all what I was feeling right then and there. I was going through some things and I talked about it.
Holy shit, dude. I don't think anybody knew that. I didn't know that.
That's how I ate for years in the subway. I would just go downtown. I would cut on the beat and I just rap. So what I started doing was just downloading instrumentals to whatever song was hot at the time. Any song that was considered a good song or a hot song, I would download the instrumental and I would just freestyle my own song over it. And that's how I made money for years.
That's amazing, dude.
No,
that's blowing my mind, dude. Even like the David Letterman line and everything, that was all just freestyle, just made up right there on the spot.
It's all freestyle. You ask anybody in Chicago about me, about Solow Redline, the rapper, they'll probably tell you he's the dopest freestyle I ever saw. He can make up a song, hook and all, off the top of the head, and be on point through the whole song. Like I can make up a whole. I know when 16 bars is up. I know when 8 bars is up. I know when 4 bars is up. I can do it like real simple. It's like a gift that I was born with, man. I always been able to do it.
Wow. All right, so I got a question. Can you do it 100% of the time, or do you ever have off days, or
There's no such thing as off days.
Wow, no way. I definitely have off days with that. I feel like you're kind of an anomaly for being able to do it every single time, 100% of the time.
Once it becomes something that you have to do to eat, it's like you master it, because you know that if you don't do it right, you won't eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it became something that I had to do in order to eat, put clothes on my back, feed my kids, even before then, I felt like I couldn't mess up. But once it became that serious, it was like, oh no, I'll never mess up. You know what I mean? Like, only thing that will make me mess up is if I lose my voice or my train of thought. And I mean, I'm a thinker, so I'm constantly thinking. So my train of thought really don't go anywhere. But, I mean, it's always possible. Anybody can lose their voice. Anybody can lose their mind. Thankfully, I haven't lost either or. So, even if I was like 70 years old, I probably would still be able to do it because I love it that much.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah, when you have the necessity, like the fight or flight, like you have to do this in order to fend for yourself and feed your family, then it's when like that happens that it really kind of kicks into gear. So that's fucking crazy, dude. That's the other thing too, is that like God forbid, knock on wood, you don't lose your voice or your mind or anything. At least there's still the recordings, you know what I mean? Like that's why we have all this technology and this music that gets put out for people to listen to forever, even if something were to happen. So
I mean, from the viral video, since it was so big, what I did was the 2 albums that I dropped. Well, I actually dropped 4 albums since I went viral, but 2 of those albums, I made studio versions of the viral video song.
Oh,
so like
sick.
Different beat, because I couldn't use the Eminem beat on my own album. So I had different beats, but the intro to the freestyles are the same as the viral video with the another day, another struggle, another hustle for dollar. I open them up like that, and then I finish them out all freestyle off the top of the head. To just, but I use the intro because it's what everybody remembers.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude. I'm going to give you a chance to share those links and everything in a minute. We're almost out of time, unfortunately, but there's one question I ask at the end of every show, and I'm curious what your answer is going to be. But if you had unlimited money, no strings attached, what would you do and why?
If I had unlimited money? Unlimited?
Unlimited, yeah.
If I had unlimited money by me knowing a lot of people that's really homeless, really out here messed up, really going through it. Man, don't you know? I would build like 100-story buildings and give them all apartments.
Mm.
You know, I would definitely do that. How you feeling, bro? I would definitely do that. I would actually help the homeless. I would help them for real, not shelters and
None of this
not
like
shelters.
Salvation Army bullshit.
Yeah, none of that bullshit. I would help them for real. Give them real jobs. You know, give them a real place to stay. Let them understand what it feels like to have your own and having to maintain it, and teach them how to maintain it. You know what I mean? Like it's a saying. They say, if you give a person a fish, they can eat today. But if you teach them how to fish, they can eat for the rest of their life. And that's the whole thing. You know, these fake programs and all that stuff that's supposed to help people, but it really doesn't. I'm not with that. I think if you're gonna help them for real.
Yeah, agreed.
You know? Too many famous people of every nationality for any nationality to be homeless in America. You know what I mean? You have famous black people, you have famous white people, you have famous Asians, famous Hispanics, famous Arabic people. All of these people have goo gobs of money, and if they all just donated $1 million a piece to helping a homeless person or helping homeless people, you know, we can change a lot that's going wrong out here. They don't do it.
Greed is real. They say that there's more vacant homes than there are homeless people out there, which is a crazy fucking statistic. Before you drop all your links and we sign off and everything, just really quick, how did you end up homeless, and how did you kind of pull yourself out of that situation and end up not being homeless anymore?
Well, with me, what it was is, you know, at like 7 or 8 years old, my mother had left. And I was put into a foster home, and I stayed in a foster home until I was like 14, and then I ran away.
Wow.
Ended up in and out of group homes, and I ran away from the group home at like 15, and I ended up on the streets again. And then they grabbed me back, and they seen how smart I was, so they gave me an apartment. But they gave me the apartment till I was 21. So once I turned 21, they just let me go in the streets. And when they let me go in the streets, I was homeless from 21 to like about 28.
Damn.
28, I was homeless. Then I met my kid's mother, and we stayed together for a few years. And, you know, that went bad, and I was homeless again. And then the year before I went viral, exactly a year before, because I went viral in October 2014. My mother died in October 2013. And that's when everything kind of changed in my life. It was like I felt like I have to get it together. I have to help these kids. I have to, you know, help my little brother and sisters. And, you know, I just started rapping real hard in that subway and, you know, trying my best to make money and do what I do. And it got hard, but then all of a sudden I went viral. You know, hey, and I'm gonna give you something important before you go that's gonna probably trip you out a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
You know, we speak on R. Kelly, right?
Yep.
And I told you that I went in the subway because of watching his story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the people that picked me up, the management company that picked me up and actually gave me a place to stay and put a little money in my pocket, would surprise you, because it was R. Kelly's management.
Wow, no way.
People that managed him from like 1992 to like 2012, 2013, those are the people that picked me up.
That's fucking wild, man. That's the fucking universe at work right there. You've had a fucking crazy life, man, a crazy journey, but I have a feeling it's all going to be just up from here, man. So if you want to drop your links and everything, I really appreciate you jumping on the show and sharing your story, man. And I hope everybody who's listening goes and checks you out.
Oh, everything is Solow Redline. SOLOWREDLINE. And that's everything. That's on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, anything that you can go to get music, or go to Facebook. Anything you go to look me up is Solow Redline. Just type in Solow Redline, and I'm there.
Amazing. Bro, thanks for being on the show again.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Music Journal. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got a lot out of it. If you want to know more about me and what I do, I just put out a personal EP on Spotify. You can go to bit.ly/Wes Yee Spotify. And if you want to know more about music production, I teach an online course about it too. Just shoot an email to wes@homestudiohits.com and I'll send you an application. Just for filling out the application, I'll send you a free sample pack of sounds I use to make the instrumental you're listening to, and more. All these links will be available in the show notes, so you can check them out there. And while you're there, if you feel inclined to rate this show 5 stars, that would really help me out. Other than that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Thanks again. Peace.